Blah! Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. Hey, si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a new book called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to five adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest. This is actually his fifth time on the show. He is not only my friend, a mentor, and he is family. Give it up for the one and only Rabbi Funnye. Woo! Oh,
Good
Rabbi.
to be with you.
Oh, yes. Always, always. So look, Rabbi, I wanna read a little something, something from my book. You're in
Hmm.
the big chapter. So I'm gonna share a little something from my heart. I think you're gonna love it. The name of the chapter is called Shiva. And for those who don't know, it's about Brother David that he passed away. That's why I call it our first Shiva. And so in the end of the chapter, I say this. Nowadays, Rabbi Funnye is still one of my closest rabbis I talk to about relationship, leadership, and Torah. We have a strong relationship, and he always invites my family and friends to Shabbat services. Alejandro, Brother David, will always be missed, and I know he was lovely by many people. Would be happy to see Rabbi Funnye and I working on projects together. I still read the Torah with my mom, and we still remember the teachings he would share with us and his jokes, which would still put a smile on our faces. And the reason why I picked this part, Rabbi, of the book, because it's amazing how Brother David was like a son to you. Anything that he shared about Torah, it was a teaching from you. And that's how you know you meant a lot to him. And and it's amazing that him looking over now, right? Seeing that you and I have a strong relationship, that we still keep in contact. He's right now smiling because he's like, wow, I I I pass it on, and now the connection's still there. Rabbi, one of my biggest questions I have for you, um, and you can share as well, from that little part I share about you in the book. But one of my biggest questions for you is, what made you decide to mentor um, Brother David Alejandro?
David was a special person that entered our lives and who left our lives too soon. His mother told me when he was 3 or 4 years old, he would stand up on the piano bench and start banging on the piano. And I think he had gifts. He was musically inclined with several gifts. And we were blessed that he was able to share his gifts with us of music for the years that he was with us. I was devastated with his loss. I think he may have been still in his early 30s,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. It truly, I felt broken in so many parts of my very being because he was a type of individual that if you gave him a request, he would do his utmost to fulfill it. Um, he would come over to my house and we'd have a beer. Then he'd disappear. And when I went back to the kitchen, he had already had two other beers. And so, okay, it was all right. But that's who he was. Um, I loved him. I loved him and his mother. Uh, and I still miss him. I really still miss him because of the gift that he had as a musician, the gift that he had a smile that was infectious. Um, he was always willing to help. He was always willing to, well, Rabbi, I think that sound can go like this. And he would get on the keyboard and do a little something. So he was gifted on keyboard, he was gifted on guitar, he was gifted on drums. He was just a gifted individual. Um, and I did in fact embrace him as a son. Um, and his passing moved me mightily. It moved me mightily. We we have his name inscribed on some of the Torah covers, particularly the ones with related to music, because that's just who he was, and that's one of the ways that we honor his memory. So he was just a special young man in the life of our entire community.
That's beautiful, Rabbi. And Rabbi, it's amazing how time went, pass on. But when he was, starting to come to your shore, right, to services for the first time, um, how did it start? Do you remember that first time you had your first interaction with him?
Our first interaction, he came to synagogue, and after service, the the young guy that on the keyboard was kind of messing around with the keyboard, and he got on the drum and started doing a rhythm on the drum. I said, "Can you play?" "Oh yeah, Rabbi." And then he got on the keyboard, and the keyboard guy at the time, who's also passed away since, his name is Yamin Israel. His name was Yamin Israel. Um, when David got on the keyboard, Yamin kind of looked at him with a slant in his eye because he could play, and it was so wonderful. Um, we did a major concert where our synagogue went and performed for one of the largest synagogues in the Chicago metropolitan area, and it was wonderful. We got continuous accolades from that performance. As a matter of fact, he died right before Thanksgiving, and we had been invited to a larger synagogue to perform. And I told the president of that congregation that unfortunately we were in mourning because one of our lead musicians had passed away. And they mourned with us. So you never know how long we have in life to spend with each other. And I will say to you, Yaakov, to value every moment, to treasure every memory that you encounter as you grow in this way of life. your memories, your experiences are the things that I believe will propel you further in your quest for the thing that you want to do. Now, I believe that you're probably more in the Orthodox vein. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's where my heart is moving, right? It's kind of like the force is strong. You know what I'm saying? It's pulling me, Rabbi, it's pulling me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is I still, like I said, Rabbi, anytime, I never forget the day when I called you and I was stressed out. I said, Rabbi, I need your help. And you picked up. It was late. I don't know what time it was. I don't know, maybe you were drinking your coffee with a nice loaf of bread,
Mm.
hot, maybe with cookies, fresh cookies. And and I called you. I said, Rabbi, I'm having a lot of I feel like I'm being there's a spiritual battle going on, and I need you, Rabbi. And you were hearing me out. You said, if you need anything, come to Chicago with your mom. We can, fix things up, and I'll help you out. And I'll never forget that, Rabbi. I was like, wow, when times like this, you need that. You need that person to go to. And I'll never forget that, Rabbi. I'm always gonna be grateful for you. Even just talking to me, sometimes we as humans, we need a person to hear us out, you know?
So, Yaakov, how old are you now?
Man, I'm 31, Rabbi. 31, Rabbi. Yes.
So I'm going to give you a grace period of 5 years.
Okay.
So within 5 years, you need to kind of find your shidduch,
Yeah.
find your soulmate,
Right.
and adding your soulmate will give you completion.
Mm.
You are not complete until you find that person that Hashem has meant for you. And at 31, you've had a chance to go out there and do what you were doing. Now it's time to focus, to redirect your energies. I think that you have positive energy. And I think that this positive energy that you have will be enhanced through the right mate that you get together with. She will enhance your potentiality. She will enhance and support your ambition and your drives. And I I believe that finding the right mate, the right making that proper shidduch, there's nothing greater. On the 8th of May, I'll be married 48 years. My wife and I started dating 51 years ago. And so she has simply contributed so much to my growth, my development as a human being and as a rabbi.
Ooh.
And she's always been that counterbalance for me. When I was ready to jump off a cliff, she said, "Okay, I'll jump with you, but is this what you want to do?"
Wow.
And I would stop and think. I said, "Well, I don't think we have no parachute. Let's not jump." So, um, but it's time. I think that receiving that blessing in your life is critical. And while you have your youth, your strength, your vitality, I think that it might be a good time for you to move forward with that. That's just my humble opinion.
Oh man, Rabbi, man, I love what you said. I know I need that, Rabbi. You know, it's getting to that point. You know, I'm coming home and I don't see a woman. I'm saying, and I be checking. Maybe she's making something in the kitchen. You know, you see, Rabbi. I said, it smells good. I gotta check. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's you just never know. And I agree with you, Rabbi. I will find someone that is spiritual, that is loving, that is full with Hashem's love as well, and who loves my family. Um and Rabbi, the day I find the girl, or she finds me, right? When she
Right,
finds me, I'm taking notes, Rabbi. She finds me.
right.
I'm gonna call you. I said, Rabbi, Rabbi, I don't have to come home alone anymore. You see, Rabbi, you see?
Look, and I would love to meet her so that we could do a blessing for the two of you with our best of wishes for a loving, strong, and happy relationship and many, many years of a blessed union. And some of the Latino people in our community are very prolific. So we have a family. I asked that, I said, I want a child born in each of these young families every year. Well, I said that 12, 15 years ago. They haven't stopped yet. And they have a child every year. Baruch Hashem.
Wow.
So I
Rabbi,
don't know if you ever catch them.
yeah,
They,
yeah, yeah.
they have, I think this is their eighth or ninth child.
Wow.
Um, but they are such a beautiful family, so dedicated to Torah, dedicated to Judaism, dedicated to our congregation. And we have had bat mitzvot for three of their daughters. And we have at least two or three more daughters to go before we even get to their son.
Wow.
And so I love our family. I am so overwhelmingly blessed by their very presence. We are a congregation for all people. We have African Americans, Africans, people from the Caribbean. We have people from Colombia, South America, from Mexico, and they all add to the richness of our congregation. And that's one of the things that I so deeply appreciate is the variety of Jews who have found their way to Beth Shalom B'nai Zakim. And in their finding their way to us, everybody hasn't stayed. Some have wanted to move on and experience other communities like Orthodox community, and that's fine. I was a little hurt at first But it's been so many years now. And then the rabbi called me that they went to, and he was asking me, well, how committed are they? And I told him, this is a very committed family. And so we have families in the Orthodox community that came from our community. And to me, it's about Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel live. And that is all of the people. That's inclusive of every ethnicity that has made his or her way into the Jewish fold. Some are returning as B'nai Anusim. Some are fresh converts, seekers of a higher degree of faith and understanding. And our mission is to work with anyone. And it's not a part of our mission anymore, because I had a very jealous element. I wanted, if you came in, I didn't want you to leave. But I learned people that come in to our community are on spiritual journeys. And we may not be the last stop on their spiritual journey. And that I've grown over the years to understand better and better. And so I wish all of them well. And every now and then when these families come by to visit us, I'm excited, elated to see them, to ask them as to how they're doing and so forth and so on. Many of the issues that are occurring in our world today, my heart aches for what is going on the ground in the state of Israel. My heart aches not only for the issues that happened on October 7th and the individuals that were taken captive by Hamas, but then I look at this broader picture of what essentially amounts to the destruction of Gaza. How can your heart not go out to the people of Gaza who are not a part of Hamas? As a matter of fact, they wanted to get rid of Hamas. But unfortunately, Hamas truly is a terrorist organization, and they dealt with the other Gazans and essentially put them in a position of fear. And so what we're seeing today is a result of the fear that Hamas has inflicted upon the people of Gaza, and now they're suffering mightily. I don't know if there's anything going on in Nevada on the college campuses there, but it's all throughout from California to New York to Washington, Florida, Texas, Chicago. So many students are protesting what is going on. And I have to say to you that there are some Jewish students that are standing with their Palestinian brothers and sisters. And that's the thing that a lot of my Jewish brothers don't understand. But they are from a different generation. And their generation doesn't look at the world through the prism of the 1930s and 40s in Germany. Their only prism has been what they have seen and experienced in the United States. And many of their parents were supporters of Black people during the civil rights movement. And they worked tirelessly with Dr. King and other leaders of the civil rights movement. And they had a passion that they brought to it. And that's now, in some instances, their children or their grandchildren are now just bringing that same passion because they're saying, is this justice? And so we have to do more praying on that, a lot more praying. And I pray the Eternal that the hostages that are still in Gaza, prayerfully those that are still alive, will be returned to their families. This war has gone on for over 208 days. Tomorrow will be the 209th day. I don't know. I pray that we can get some resolution before this conflict in Gaza reaches a year. I do not think that as Jews who are very divided on these issues in many instances, I don't think it's good for the Jewish people. I don't think it's good for any of us. In Chicago, we have Palestinians, and they live all around our synagogue. But we've never had any issues with the Palestinian community, the Muslim community in our community, ever. I believe that's because 22 years ago, we opened our doors to the Muslim community. And we were the first synagogue in the Chicago metropolitan area where our Muslim brothers and sisters came in and had observed the iftar service as they were going through the fast of Ramadan. We still have a very close relationship. I'm thankful for the closeness of that relationship. And I pray that there can be peace for all people. Gazans, Israelis, the hostages, the suffering by so many children that is happening in Gaza right now to this very day. We need to really pray earnestly for a resolution that will bring about peace, that will bring the hostages home that were taken on October 7th. That's an absolute.
Wow, Rabbi, that was very deep, Rabbi. And thank you for sharing that. Um, I know the timer we're about to Zoom about to kick me out, so I'm gonna wrap it up real quick because it was
Come
deep.
on.
It was deep, Rabbi. Guys, this is the Outlet to Reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It. And my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Rabbi, where can my fans find you?
They can find us at BethShalomBZ.org. We are on Facebook. We broadcast on Facebook and we broadcast on YouTube every Shabbat. Beth Shalom BZ. And you can type that in, and the congregation will pop up and come in and join us for any Shabbat service. All are welcome. All are welcome because we believe that another part of Jewish survival is the growth of the Jewish people made up of individuals from every walk of life.
Ooh.
And that's why I said earlier, Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live.